Widespread criticism of Australia's cricket culture following last month's ball-tampering scandal in South Africa is rather exaggerated, said former captain Ricky Ponting. One of Australia's most successful captains and batsmen, Ponting was speaking at a press conference of the Delhi Daredevils, the IPL team of who he is the coach.
Look, at the end of the day, and this is the first time I've actually answered a single question about what's happened in South Africa over the last couple of weeks. So at the end of the day, as a past player and a past captain, I must admit I was quite shocked to see what actually took place out on the field. The pleasing thing for me is that the guys now, it seems like this whole issue is starting to come to an end. We hear this morning that now David Warner's also accepted his sanctions that Cricket Australia have placed on him, so that means all three of the guys have accepted the sanctions before them, so Bancroft 9 months and obviously Smith and Warner 12 months each. So it seems like it is starting to come to an end. Look, when I was back at home a week and a half ago, if you think it was big news over here, it was just, it was astronomical how big an issue it was in Australia, and rightly so. We as Australians, we like to play the game hard, but we like to play the game fair, and our fans expect that Australian players play that way. And I think the reaction back in Australia was as big as it was because I think the Australian public felt that the Australian players hadn't played the game in a fair way. So I think that's why their reaction was as big as it was. As I said, it seems it's coming to an end, and that's a good thing for the game's sake. It's a good thing for the players' sake as well, that they can try and get away from it all now, as hard as that's going to be for them. But it's also a good thing for cricket in Australia as well, that now that Test series is over, the guys have got a few weeks to get away from it all and then start rebuilding what has sort of collapsed for them over the last couple of weeks. The cultural issue for me is really a really interesting thing, because if you wind the clock back just a couple of months when Australia won the Ashes like they did, there was no talk about cultural problems or issues whatsoever. So I think a lot of the time these cultural things can be blown out of proportion. They can be spoken about a lot when the reality inside the dressing room is completely different than what is actually spoken about all the time. And I honestly feel on this occasion that the cultural stuff that's been spoken about has probably been blown out of proportion to a certain degree.